Good Monday morning, everybody. I'm Donald Leonard, and this is your Monday morning shot of caffeine with a side of real estate. Now, this morning I'm enjoying my coffee in a brand new coffee cup that I just got last week in Rocky Mountain National Park up around Estes Park, Colorado. That is just absolutely gorgeous country up there. Spent a few days in Denver where the temperature was like 65 degrees every day. It was unbelievable. Then went up into the mountains and it was a heck of a lot colder and a heck of a lot snowier and a heck of a lot windier, but it was still beautiful. Always good to get away, but always good to get back to. So today we're going to talk a little bit about pre-qualification and pre-approval. Now, I'm working with a buyer, and we were talking about him getting pre-approved, and he said, I know what I can afford. I don't need a lender to tell me what I can afford. Nobody knows my budget better than I do. Nobody knows what I'm comfortable with better than I do. So let's get the house in place, and then I'll talk to a lender. I get that and I understand that, and he was also afraid that maybe the lender would try to drive him to a higher price, say, hey, you qualify for this much more, maybe that's what you should be going for. But that's the same thing that people say about real estate agents too sometimes, is that real estate agents try to drive buyers to a higher price. And I'll admit that that's got to be out there. There's probably some out there that do. But lenders are like realtors. The reputable ones, they're not going to do that to you. What you're comfortable with, they're just going to try to make sure that that's what you can afford. And really, that's about it. And that's what we're talking about here. And I told him, I said, look, there really are some real advantages to going ahead and getting pre-approved. Not even to mention the fact that when we go to write an offer, there's going to be an expectation on the seller's side that you have done that. They're going to want to see that you've started to make some progress towards getting a loan, that you're at least operating in enough good faith that this is really something that you want to do. So that's the first point. And the second point is we don't really want to go out and start looking at property until we know for sure that that's what they are going to qualify for, what a buyer is actually going to qualify for. Because yes, they may know, a buyer may know exactly what payment they're comfortable with, but we have to make sure that there's not something else in place that's going to keep them from being able to qualify for that payment. And so by going to a lender and making sure that you're on solid footing, that is the best thing you can do. What we really don't want to happen is to have a buyer go out and start looking at a house $300,000, $350,000 because they're comfortable with that payment, just to find out that when they do go and talk to a lender, that really all they qualify for is $250,000 or $275,000. What ends up happening is you've created these expectations looking at this $350,000 house. You've created the expectation of what you're going to be getting. And then when you find out that that's not what you're going to be getting, it sometimes leads to absolutely nothing being satisfying enough at that point. And we really don't want that to happen. We want this to be a good experience. We really want it to be something that you're comfortable with from the beginning, yes, but also something that you don't have to feel like that you have taken a step down in order to get. So it really is a good idea to go ahead and get pre-approved ahead of time. And there's also more to it than that. There's more of an advantage than that. And of course, the biggest advantage is that it makes your offer look that much stronger when you do find the property and you have your offer in place along with this letter of pre-approval that says, hey, I've been vetted to a certain extent and I can qualify for this house. That makes a seller feel a lot more confident going with that offer than if they don't see anything in place at all. So it definitely makes a lot of sense to go ahead and get pre-qualified or pre-approved. And we like pre-approved better than pre-qualified. The main difference is pre-qualified is a buyer calls into a lender asks them some questions, and then based on the answers that they get, the lender comes back and says, well, this is what you should qualify for. That's not really that great. But a pre-approval, I've actually done the application, my credit report's been pulled, I've been vetted to a certain extent, and that seller who sees that letter of pre-approval can feel a lot more confident that as a buyer, I'm going to be able to qualify, and that makes my offer look just that much stronger. So the best advice I can give you as buyers out there is that when your real estate agent tells you something like that, really pay attention to it. And it's not because they're trying to take advantage of you, they're not trying to get you to buy anything higher. It's because we've been through it before, we know what works, we know what doesn't work, and we're really just trying to look out for your best interest. Now, I'm Donald Leonard with RE/MAX Northwest. If I can ever help you with any of your real estate needs, whether it be buying or selling either one, please get with with me, I'll be more than happy to assist you in any way I can. My contact information will be coming up here in just a second. And until next Monday, enjoy your week, enjoy your day, enjoy your coffee, and we'll be getting back together next Monday on another edition of your Monday morning shot of caffeine with a side of real estate. Take care, y'all.